a special show on 75th of birthday of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I am Ankur Mishra and with me is Snehi Shah. In last 11 years, India has witnessed economic transformation like never before. From GST and IBC to Jan Dhan and UPI, from Atmanirbhar Bharat and PLI schemes to green hydrogen and semiconductor missions and so on. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, markets have deepened, financial inclusion has expanded, and wealth creation has scaled new highs. And Snehi, just to put an anecdote, in May 2014, Sensex was near 25,000 mark, and today you see where is Nifty?
Oh, well, Nifty is at 25,000 and let's see, Sensex is at 82,600. So what a soar coming in equity markets. And it's not only equity markets, it's your demat accounts, your SIP accounts, the number of Aadhaar card, PAN card registrations. So all across, it's been a robust upsurge or an uptick in all of these numbers in the last 10 or 11 years of PM Modi's leadership. But let's take a look at how Dalal Street has performed under PM Modi's reign, and Sharad is joining us with all the details on how the last decade has shaped up for D Street.
Well, phenomenal returns coming for D Street over the last 10 odd years from 2014 onwards under PM Modi. Now let's look at the Nifty CAGR numbers, how they have actually panned out. Nifty has given 12% returns on a CAGR basis, and Nifty Bank on the higher side coming in at almost 12.5%. Mid-cap, small-cap indices, that's gone up very nicely. It's up almost 17% for the mid-cap space, and even the Nifty PSU segment, that has seen a strong re-rating of almost 9%. So we can see that D Street under PM Modi has flourished. Now let's look at how the EPS has panned out for Nifty over the last 10 odd years. From 2014 to 2019, this was ranging between 400 to 500, but the jump has started from 2020 onwards, and you see it has been a very strong ride, and a strong EPS addition has been added each year as we are going ahead, and it's coming in at roughly 1127 rupees almost in the Nifty EPS at the current level. So you can see D Street, it has been a very rewarding tenure. Also, let's look at the stocks which have gained the most. Nifty 500, the broader indices stocks over the last 10 years, we see Uno Vinda, that's given 165 times of wealth creation to the investors. KA Industries and Olectra Greentech ranging between 140 to 165 times. And other two companies are there which should be in focus. This includes Standa Platforms and JBM Auto. See the significant re-rating in these stocks which have happened and given multifold returns to the investors. We spoke about the Nifty 500 gainers, but let's look at what the Nifty gainers are showing. It's been 11 years of compounding. The biggest success story is Trend, 52 times jump coming in. Also Bajaj Finance, that is up almost 50 odd times, and Adani Enterprises, that has also given 40 times return to the investors. Making it to the list, two more stocks are there, and BEL makes it to the list with 25 times jump, and Bajaj Twins, second partner, that is Bajaj Finserv, that has given 23 times returns as well to the investors. So overall in the markets, be it the mid cap, small cap, or even the large caps, there has been a significant strong rally under PM Modi.
Thanks so much for taking us through that, and let's welcome on board someone to talk about the way the markets have performed, like Sharad was just highlighting, and not only markets, the overall Indian economy as well in the last 10 years, and who better than the MD and CEO of BSE, Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy, to talk about the same. Mr. Ramamurthy, good afternoon, and thanks so much for your time today. Thanks for joining us on this special edition and special coverage of PM Modi's 75th birthday. Help us understand, how has the market cap of BSE listed companies grown over the last 11 years under PM Modi's reign, and what has been the impact on the overall Indian economy?
See, on the significant day when the country is celebrating the Prime Minister's birthday, from BSE on a personal front and also as on behalf of BSE, we wish a very, very happy birthday to our Prime Minister. Indeed, the Indian market has performed wonderfully well under his leadership the last 10 plus years. If I have to summarize it and put it as 3 points, the markets have deepened and broadened. There has been a greater penetration and there has been a greater amount of stability. Just to give you some data to put across these points, the market cap in the last 10 years have grown by 4.5 times. The demat accounts have grown 10 times. The mutual fund portfolios have grown 8 times. The AUM managed by mutual funds have grown 6 times. The share of B30, that is beyond 30 cities, in this last 10 years in the market has almost doubled. There has been a very significant growth of SIPs. If you look at it, the mantra has been Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. The market has given a wonderful return of 13%. The recent times when we have seen all the global turmoil, India has maintained its stability, maturity, and proved to the world that we are resilient and we will continue to grow. And we continue to be the fastest growing economy of the world.
Mr. Ramurthy, you mentioned about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, but one more theme has been there, reform, perform and transform. What according to you have been some significant reforms by PM Modi and that have had positive impact on the Indian economy?
See, if you look at it, the theme has been reform, perform and transform, to quote Prime Minister. Nicely, the thought processes of reforms have been embraced, enhanced, and the empowerment has happened. If I have to list a few of the reforms that have been very significant, which are on the top of the mind, Jan Dhan Yojana, the very concept of Aadhaar, Ayushman Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, insolvency and bankruptcy code, GST reforms, now the second round has also come, asset monetization, labor reforms. This is all not only financial markets part. Look at the way in which the COVID Mahamari was managed in India. Overall, all these major reforms have seen, as we talked about, the GDP growing more than 2 times. It is twice the number what it was before. So many startups have come. Capital formation have happened in a significant way during this period. Look at the UPA annual transaction. The annual transaction value is more than some big countries' GDP. That is the level and extent to which the market reforms have percolated and benefited Indian economy.
All right, Mr. Ramamurthy, stay with us, but we also have with us DP Singh, Deputy MD, SBI Mutual Fund. Mr. Singh, as we were discussing about market earlier, the Sensex has become nifty now, 25,000 mark, which was there in May 2014. Now I want to take a cue from you. 28,000 crore is the SIP mark currently. When do you think we are going to become 1 lakh crore?
No. I think, see, first of all, see, as we all are celebrating our dear Prime Minister's birthday, and the theme of your talk is what has happened in the last 10 years is magical. I think the kind of inclusiveness which has happened, and Mr. Ramurthy has already talked about the numbers. I will not repeat, but the fact of the matter remains that so many people have created their wealth in the great journey of last 10 years. And today, when we are in the mission toward 2047, the developed economy, I think more and more people will join the bandwagon. And see, what your question on 28,000 crore is anybody's guess, 1 lakh crore. But for 1 lakh crore, we have to create more corporates coming into the listed space, more people coming into the markets. Everything has to work together, and God willing, this will also happen soon.
Mr. Singh, if you take a look at the mutual fund penetration and the awareness that is there amongst the Indian retail investor, that has also taken a big leap in the last 10 years. Now, as we move towards being a developed nation by 2047, where do you think the penetration of mutual funds is going to reach? What is going to happen on the inclusivity front going ahead?
Honestly, the biggest challenge for the industry is now how to take this 5 crore investors to 10 crore investors in the mutual fund industry at the earliest. The biggest thing which has happened, the unified approach that people from anywhere, people even sitting in Twang or Leh or Bombay, can reach out to the market in the same moment, same way. So that's something which has happened in India. One India is there. I think more and more education and with some of the proactive steps which regulators are changing, getting into innovative products, as well as getting into the choti sip kind of initiatives which under the industry body the whole industry is working on. I am sure that penetration will increase by 100% from this level. So that's what I'm saying, that 5 crore to 10 crore mission is something which the whole industry is working towards.
Singh and Mr. Ramamurthy, stay with us because let's also discuss market in detail. The stellar rise in markets has been a result of government's big reforms, and my colleague Ashesha is joining us through which are the biggest achievements of this government in past 11 years. Ashesha, over to you.
Well, yes, let's put the spotlight on some of the biggest reforms Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced and implemented over the last 11 years. First up is the GST, which was implemented in the year 2017, and GST 2.0, which is likely to come into effect on the 22nd of September. Second is IBC, or the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. That was also a big reform. Atmanirbhar Bharat Drive. So these were the key major reforms that were announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. PLI scheme across several sectors from manufacturing to textile to defense, and PSB amalgamation that resulted in merger of several banking companies within the financial services sector as well. Let's also put the spotlight on a whole host of other schemes that were announced, and that include something like PM Jan Dhan Yojana, which resulted in financial inclusion, and several bank accounts were opened, especially after the demonetization that was announced in 2016. We have PM Swanidhi Yojana, Mudra Yojana, that also resulted in several other reforms, Digital India and Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. So these were also some of the other reforms that were announced. Meanwhile, apart from that, let's also put the spotlight on some other reforms then, and in particular it's the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the semiconductor mission, especially in the light of global shortage of semiconductor that the world is facing, and several other plants are also being set up in India to promote semiconductor manufacturing. Green hydrogen mission, renewable energy push, and power sector reform. So these are largely the reforms that have been announced and have also been successful across sectors, especially with respect to boosting manufacturing and consumption within the domestic economy.
Yeah, Shesha, thanks so much for taking us through that. So, well, lots of reforms have happened, and let's discuss the impact of the same that we've seen over the last decade. We have Mr. Rajiv Kumar, former Vice Chairperson at Niti Aayog, joining us. And Mr. Kumar, thanks so much for speaking with us today. Give us a sense of how these reforms and new policies and schemes that have been released by the government, how they have played a role in shaping up the economy, and which out of Jan Dhan Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, the asset monetization, or labor reforms, where do you think the biggest change has come from?
Thanks for having me here, and real pleasure. And the reforms can be divided into two separate categories. One is, of course, the categories which will propel investment and growth in the economy, and the second are those which will ensure better social security and higher welfare for the lower income segments of the economy. I think the reforms have taken place on both. The ones that are critical for improving the growth of the economy are the ease of doing business, the financial inclusion, the decriminalization of laws, which is part of the ease of doing business, the opening up of the sectors to foreign direct investment to attract greater volumes of FDI in this, and then all the technology reforms, for example, the setting up of the 1 lakh crore National Research Fund for India, and also the startup initiative, the Champions of Change initiative, and a focus on setting up incubators, 72 of which were set up by the Atal Innovation Mission, plus also the merger of commercial banks and the cleaning up of the balance sheets, the bank's balance sheets, which Mr. Modi had inherited. So all those, and there are others, which are reforms targeted to improve the economic performance of the country, which has happened and which again is now going to unfold in the coming years. The second part is, of course, that when the growth takes place, the benefits go down to the lower rungs of the population, to the lower income groups, and for that, several schemes have been there. The many schemes, the Prime Minister's housing scheme, the Saubhagya, the Ujjwala, the 100% electrification of the villages, including the rise of MSPs, plus also, of course, now the food availability at very reasonable prices for 800 million people in this country. So so all these reforms have meant that we are growing with stability, with social stability, and laying the foundation for higher growth in the coming years.
Right, Mr. Kumar, point well taken. We'll discuss all these reforms in detail as PM Modi says, reform, perform and transform. But we'll take a very short break and come back very soon.